This is a TReX training video on how to set up a point-to-point serial link. The wireless point-to-point serial link would be useful to connect devices such as PLCs back to SCADA systems, replace long serial lengths of cable, have TReX units connected through their RS422 port to MODBUS devices, many devices, all communicating back to a single TReX that is in turn connected and used through a SCADA system. Before configuring the serial connection, it's a good practice to first establish that you have serial communications from the TReX unit, each TReX unit to another device. In this case, we're going to our serial terminal. In this case, we have on the right, above the image of the TReX, this serial terminal is connected to the TReX that is shown. On the left, we have another serial terminal window, and that is connected to a remote device. The objective of this exercise is to have serial data sent in through the serial terminal, transmitted over the air from the TReX that is shown, received by a remote TReX unit, and in turn displayed on the left serial terminal window. Data can then be sent again from the left window and received back on the right window, establishing that we have a serial link operating from a remote to a local device. First, establishing that we have serial communications between the TReX and the serial terminal program, you can cycle the power, and we can see that we have a sign-on string here from the TReX establishing that the baud rate between the serial terminal and the TReX is correct. If in doubt about the correct serial configuration or wiring, we've already established in this case that serial communications there are serial communications in one direction but not in the other. A simple tool that's available on the TReX to diagnose this is there is an inbuilt serial terminal, and here we can see that on the bottom we have all most recent serial data that has been transmitted from the TReX on one of its serial interfaces, and here we can see on the top that we have not received any data yet. The receive count is at 0. So from the serial terminal that is connected to this TReX, I'm going to just send some serial data from local TReX, and I will send that now, and we will see on the terminal here data from local TReX, and using this simple serial terminal we can see all non-printable characters are displayed in hexadecimal. In this case, the spaces are represented by a hex value of 20. So that is a useful diagnostic tool. So now that we have established that we have basic serial communication to the device, and I will just now cycle power to the remote device, I'll prove that there is a serial communications back on that one. We can now start to set up a point-to-point serial link. So we go to the Quick Set menu. To ensure that the TReX is in a factory new condition, a good approach is to first set it to system defaults. And now we will configure point-to-point serial link. The serial link items through this menu They are a subset of all of available serial link parameters, and this is to simplify the process, to make it as quick as possible to actually prove that you have an effective serial link. We can configure our operating frequency, choose a frequency that you are legally allowed to use, don't change anything else, and simply apply the serial link defaults and exit the menu. I'm going to do the same on the remote device. I'm setting that also to the defaults. And I'm also setting the serial link exactly the same way that I did on the other one. You can see on the screen here on the TReX here that we've got the point-to-point arrow here that indicates that we are in the point-to-point serial mode of operation. I now clear what's on the serial terminals, and I will cycle power between the two units. Clear the screen just so that we can see that the connection is working correctly. And now I will send some data from this serial terminal to the TReX on the right, and if it's correctly configured, it will come out on the left. I've sent data from the local TReX and it has arrived on the remote unit. And now I will send data from the remote TReX from the left side, and that has arrived on the right side. So we have a point-to-point serial link operating. While in this mode, the unit will not respond to any other commands, as it just simply mirrors all serial data. In order to enter further commands, serial commands at this stage, the unit will either need to be reset to defaults or the protocol. Here, changed from raw, which is used for the point-to-point serial link, that will need to be changed back to WTE. At the bottom of the list. But in this case, we're happy with our point-to-point serial link. So that is the basic setup for an unencrypted serial link. If an encrypted serial link is required, there is an additional step that is required here. So if we repeat our steps again, we have already set up the basic serial link, and we have established that that's working. A quick set serial link. This time we're going to go to encryption. You can see here that the encryption is disabled, and if we were to enable it at this stage, it would use all of the default settings, and in most cases would be operating immediately. There is one catch when using encryption for a point-to-point serial link, and that when resetting to defaults, the AES key is persistent. So once set, setting to defaults does not clear it. So before enabling the encryption, check that the leading characters of the key are the same on both units. Once that's been established, what you need to do is enable encryption, and it will immediately apply 128-bit encryption. We're exiting now. We now have a padlock displayed on the left, showing that there is an encrypted link. I'll repeat the same steps on the remote unit. In this case, now we can go back to the serial terminal and we now sent the same data, and it was received on the remote unit, this time applying AES encryption. Should the key need to be changed, the steps would be that you cannot change the key through the menu here. You have to do it through a serial command. So the steps are: you first must have the TReX in a state where it can receive a command. Start off by resetting back to system defaults. It's a good starting point. Establish that you have serial communications to the device. I've just issued the version command and it has replied back version information, so we know that serial communications are working. We now click the About button and use the key generator. And the key generator will generate a AES key. Select the type of key that you want and generates a unique key. That key must be applied to all units. You then need to construct the RF key command, and here on the left, on the right hand serial terminal, we can see we have RF key with several parameters here. And if we have a look in the manual, we can see what those parameters are. First parameter. These parameters can be automatically set through the quick set menu, but we need to have padding for 3 parameters first. So we would have 0, 0, 0, and then the key. In this case, we've done this, and we can issue this command. TReX now responds with OK, and the new serial key, the new AES key, has been applied. And now go back into the menu. Make sure encryption's enabled. You will see that the leading characters of the key match the leading characters here. So you can confirm that the correct key has been used. Exit the menu. You'll see that we have encryption enabled. However, we don't have the point-to-point serial link icon present because it wasn't selected. In this case, we'll apply the point-to-point serial link. And now we have encryption and a point-to-point serial link enabled. Clear the screen. And data is transmitted from the TReX on the right to the TReX on the left. That is how to configure the point-to-point serial link on the TReX. Thank you.